All right, good morning, you guys. It is time for your health check. You know, this is the first full week of Ramadan for thousands of Muslims in North Texas, and that means fasting during daylight hours all this month. Now, we've talked about intermittent fasting just last week and how it's not really for everyone. Well, Nizam Hussein is one example. He used to fast during this holy month, but after going to his doctor, he learned he had a host of health problems. He underwent a triple bypass and had to come up with an alternative to his religious ritual.
Instead of fasting, I'm paying charity 1 meal per day for the month of Ramadan, and I pay that to a person who cannot afford a decent meal. By doing charity, it compensates for where I am lacking in my religious duties.
Now, groups excluded from fasting during Ramadan include children and the elderly, women who are pregnant, breastfeeding, anyone with acute or chronic illnesses. If you are fasting, you want to stay hydrated. Of course, we talk about this, especially during the warmer months. Avoid too much caffeine or alcohol. And of course, trust your body, right? If you're having trouble with your fast, talk to your healthcare provider and faith leaders about how to make your situation work. New research giving us a better idea of the impact stress can have on our bodies. Researchers at the Veterans Affairs Outpatient Clinic in Boston found higher levels of stress are associated with a higher risk for heart disease later in life. It showed men with higher levels of self-reported anxiety were the same ones with several risk factors for heart disease. And those risk factors include high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, diabetes, the same stuff I've talked about for years, right? Having 6 or more of these risk factors means that you're more likely to have some kind of heart disease. A doctor suggests routine checkups to help monitor your risks. So as always, talk to your doctors, healthcare providers about how to cope with stress, because this really does impact your body and it will help you in the long run to have these conversations.
You've done so many series too on how to really cope with stress, different techniques that you can use. Yes. On your Fitter Together page.
And there are lots of them out there.
One of the factors I didn't see in there was sleep, although I imagine that certainly doesn't help either.
If you
aren't getting the right amount of sleep.
If you're not getting enough sleep, I've never talked about that, have I? If you're not getting enough sleep, then it could be problematic.
Myriad of things it can contribute to.
I mean, you know, if you focus on just one thing a week, right? Like this week I'm really going to get sleep, or like next week I'm really going to hydrate. The following week I'm going to try to meditate every week, right? Give yourself a little plan. You got to make a plan.